Hello everybody, welcome to my first podcast. This is Andrea, and in this channel I want to share with you all my knitting and sewing adventures to be able to handmade my whole wardrobe. Today I'm going to focus on my knits and what's on my needles. I'm currently in the mountains in Switzerland with lovely weather, but I don't have a sewing machine here, so I have only brought my yarn, some projects, and my camera. Let's start with my first finished object that I have to show you, which is actually only one project. And I'm sort of cheating because I did not finish this in January. I finished this right before Christmas. I wanted a Christmas sweater to be able to wear something nice at Christmas, but I wanted it to be not super Christmas themed. So I went for this pattern. This is the Glacier sweater by Coil Studio. It's a beautiful cable sweater and it's knitted flat, which is actually my preference. I don't like knitting in the round. I mean, there are some things, but for instance, drop sleeves sweaters or set in sleeve sweaters, I always prefer to knit flat. I knitted this without using a cable needle. It was a super easy pattern to remember actually. And I had to size down. I will tell you all my experience with the yarn and with the pattern in a few minutes. And I picked this beautiful pavot color from Gilliat, from the Rerum Natura, because I wanted to make it sort of Christmassy but not full in theme, as I said before. And I thought a red sweater would be nice to wear on Christmas Eve. It has a bit of positive ease, but it's not fully oversized. So give me a minute and I will wear it to show you how it fits. So this is a sweater without tucking. As you can see, it has some positive ease. I did it a little bit shorter just because I'm short. I am 160. So yeah, I'm quite small, and I actually wear it tucked like this. I don't know, they say that French tucks are not trendy anymore, but I will always use them. I think it just looks better on me, regardless of what trends are there. So it's a very soft yarn. I'm very happy that I picked this yarn. It's peeling just a little bit here, but also I have worn it a lot, and it usually happens with soft yarn, so I'm not terribly concerned about it. And I've enjoyed it very much. I did not make gauge with this yarn. I did not want to order the suggested yarn only because I fell in love with this color and it felt sort of warmer. And I thought I could make it match because the Rerum Natura usually offers you several gauges depending on the size of a needle. And I thought, I think I will make it, but I didn't. I tried with the recommended needles, which are 5 millimeters or US 8, and my gauge was too big. Then I tried with 4 millimeter needles, and I sort of matched gauge, but I did not like the fabric. I thought it was too stiff, and I wanted a sort of more flowy, drapey garment. In the end, I used the suggested needles, but went down one size. Sort of. So I knitted XS instead of size S, except on the rib part of the bodice. So usually these patterns from Coil Studio, or most of the ones, many of the ones, because I have not knitted all of them, from Rowan Yarns, they give you a stitch count for the rib, and one row before you change to the main needles, you actually have to add stitches. I like that look for many garments, especially for sweaters or tops that cinch a little bit at the waist. But this was going to be a bit longer, and I thought maybe the main stitch pattern is going to overhang too much on the rib because it was a lot of stitches. So in the end, I needed size S for the rib, and the rest I needed size XS. And I ended up with this, which I'm pretty happy. Let's talk about my UFOs that now have been frogged and now are WIPS. My first UFO is the Northern Augustins #2 from Augustins. I remember when I saw this pattern 2 years ago, I fell in love. I bought it immediately and I ordered the suggested yarn immediately as well. I wanted to start. I think I started also during a Christmas break or something, and I was super fast because that's when we take our holidays usually, so I have a lot of time. We were here in the mountains and I could not wait to finish that sweater and wear it outside. As you can see, I almost finished it. I was only one sleeve away from finish the whole project, and I tried it on and I just did not like it. It felt wrong. I think there were several issues. First of all, I think that the final fabric was too thick for me. Although I appreciate a very warm sweater because I'm in the mountains and we spend a large part of the winter here, I tend to wear layers because when you, for instance, go for a coffee or a beer or a restaurant, it's so warm that I thought I will have to take my jacket, take sometimes my second jacket, and take also this sweater off because I cannot stand it. I cannot stand the heat in something so thick. That was number one. Number two relays also on the fabric. I think that fabric was just too thick for someone with my frame, with my bone structure. I feel that my shoulders are quite narrow. They are actually, in comparison to my hips, I'm a triangle. And I feel like I was drowning in that sweater and I looked really boxy, which I don't mind. This is also sort of a boxy sweater, but in a different way because it drapes. That garment, because it's knitted with 3 strands of yarn at the same time, 1 of heavy merino and 2 of kid silk, it becomes too thick. And if you add the color work, for me it was just too much. But I thought, okay, I can live with that. But then what made me want to frog it was the fact that it did not have any back neck shaping. And that for me is something that at this point has become non-negotiable. I mean, it depends on the garment really, but something that is so boxy, it needs to have some neck shaping for the back. Otherwise, I feel it looks really weird. I wish I had a picture of me wearing it because I really look bad. So during my Christmas break this year, or last year, so from last year to this year, I was spending my days while my husband was skiing. I was just unraveling that project. It was a pain in the bee because you have 6 strands of yarn in total, and the kid silk mohair, as you know, it's quite difficult to unravel. But well, I was watching movies and it's fine. I still have not finished. I still have the rib to unravel, which I think is the most difficult part, but at least it's just one color. So I was not sure what to do with the yarn. I thought I need to use this yarn. It's a knitting for olive yarn. It's really nice, really soft. So while I was unraveling, I was also searching for possible patterns, and I found the P1 sweater from Susanne Müller. And here it is. So I'm knitting this with just 1 strand of heavy merino. My gauge matches, sort of. It's a little bit smaller. And I just love it. This is not your typical raglan sweater. The raglan has a very interesting pattern which is knitted in rounds of 12. So it's really easy to memorize, but it makes it a very interesting project. It's not like your typical raglan where most of the yoke is constructed by increasing every other row. This one is sort of different and it fits really beautiful. This is a unisex pattern, so she does not give you sizes. She gives you final chest or bust circumference, so you just choose the one according to the ease that you want. I have gone between size the smallest and the next to smallest. So I rearranged the stitch count for the ease that I wanted. And I'm really happy with it. I cannot wait to finish this project. The yarn feels so great when you put it on. The neck is also really nice. It's like a mock neck, not a full turtleneck, but really nice. It rolls here a bit with the stockinette stitch construction, and my husband liked it too. He saw a picture of a guy wearing it on her website on Etsy, and he told me I want that for my birthday. So I've ordered already the yarn for his sweater. I've ordered again Gilliat, but this time in black. I think black and a turtleneck for a man looks really, really stunning. So unfortunately, there's a delay in my order. The retailer told me that she doesn't really have the yarn in stock, so I will have to wait till the end of January. But that's fine because it gives me time to finish all my projects. I still don't know what I'm going to do with the heavy merino in the petrol color that I was using for the color work in Northern Augustins, or the kid silk mohair, which I have a collection of many leftovers, so I will have to do a project with all of that soon. But for now, I'm really happy with this one. The only thing is the color. This is a cream color, which I kind of feel that it doesn't look so good on me. This is an old purchase of yarn, so 2 years ago, and I had not done my color analysis. I have not really had it done professionally. I have just downloaded 2 or 3 apps and they all gave me the same, which is what was it? Deep Winter. I was really surprised. I thought it would give me a warmer season, but well, who knows. But when I knew the app was right is when I did the test magenta versus orange, and there I could see the difference. I even made pictures and send the pictures to my sister, and she told me, oh wow, yeah, there is a difference. Definitely the magenta makes you look less, more alive, right? With the orange, although it's subtle, I don't know, you could see some yellowness on my face, how do you call this, the darkness around the eye. So yeah, it was surprising. And although this is not in my official color scheme, I think I will wear it a lot just because it's such a beautiful neutral shade. My next UFO is a pattern that I was actually designing on my own. I was not even mad at it, but I did not like the yarn for that piece that I had in mind. And I realized it too late into the construction of the garment, but it was also very nice wool. It was pure Gynt by Sandnes Garn, and I thought, no, I will not, I don't want to waste this yarn in a garment that does not suit that yarn. So I unraveled it, and again during my Christmas break. So it has been, I have started the year unraveling projects, and I wanted something easy. So I'm knitting the Louvre sweater by Petit. This is an oversized raglan sweater. This is your typical raglan sweater. So the most of the yoke, you do the increases every other row. It has short rows shaping for the back of the neck, and it's really a mindless project. I have had to take the train to the other side of the country 2 times this year, and that's where I have done most of my knitting. Each train ride was 4 hours, so I thought I will take a project to knit, and I was surprised by how much I was able to knit. And I think the yarn is so beautiful. It feels, I don't know, it feels a bit more scratchy than your average merino yarn, or for instance that one from heavy merino from Knitting for Olive. But when you try it on, it's actually not scratchy at all. Although unraveling this yarn was not as painful as my previous project with 6 strands of yarn, the yarn kept the shape of the stitches. So it came out like this. I don't know if you can see it, very curly sort of. I did a gauge sample and I blocked it and all that to knit the Louvre sweater, but the stitches were pretty uneven like this. So in the end I steamed all the yarn and now it's great. It's flat and normal. I still have not finished steaming the whole thing. I have like 2 or 3 more balls of this, but I will do that little by little. Actually, I have to do it today because I don't have more yarn to knit. The only modification that I'm doing to this pattern is the ribbon at the bottom, and on the sleeves I'm doing twisted rib because my ribbon, my 1x1 ribbon is not very neat, and I feel that for such a long rib, so 11 centimeters, it's quite like this. I want it to look pretty neat and straight, but that's just it. This is really a beginner friendly pattern I'm having. You know, it's so relaxing, just very relaxing to knit. My next work in progress, this is not been unraveled, this is with yarn that I had, is a sweater that I'm designing on my own. It's not for sale because it's also knitted flat, so people will not buy that. So it's just a really normal sweater. The thing that I'm doing a little bit different is the details. I will show it to you when I block it. So I wanted to cinch at the waist, have a little overhang here, and I have done a shoulder neck closure, which I have to reknit because it's a bit small. I need to change my needle for the gauge of the double knit on this part, and I think it looks beautiful. I love the fabric. I'm using Le Petit Lambswool from Buches and Mohair from Drops. Yeah, from Drops Design. I have to say that I don't like that yarn at all, the Drops. The Le Petit Lambswool is fine. It's just that it's a bit rougher, and I was going for something drapey and elegant. But yeah, I don't know, that Mohair from Drops, I feel like I'm wearing a cat. It's so fuzzy here. I don't know if you can see. And I am just not enjoying it, especially because that neck is not a mock, but it's a high crew neck. I don't like very open crew necks. So I have the mohair itching me on the neck here. It's fine because usually when I design a garment, I don't go for very expensive yarn because I'm trying things and sometimes they don't work. But this is too much, I feel. And I've knitted with some of the Drops yarn before, the silk mohair, and it was not like this. So I don't know if it's true. I have not bought it in a while, maybe 5 or 6 years even perhaps. But maybe it was this batch or I don't know, but it feels like the little hairs are very long. And I have a British short hair cat, and it feels like my cat. No kidding. Anyway, I think it's going to look beautiful anyway, I'm hoping. I am designing the sleeves already. When I design a sweater, I do it on the go. I sort of have a plan on how I want it to look, but as you knit, you sort of, things start changing a little bit, how the fabric behaves and all that. So I don't go with a very specific idea. And now I know how I want the sleeves to look. So I really cannot wait to show you this one because it's my own design, and I hope that it will turn out as I'm thinking it's going to turn out. The sleeves, I will start knitting them very soon. I've already done my stitch count, my Excel, and it's one of the reasons that I like knitting flat. It's because I can knit the 2 sleeves at the same time and do the increases or the decreases depending on how you knit them at the same time. And if there's a mistake, both will have the same mistake. So I actually prefer that. And let's see how this goes. With that, I finished my works in progress. It's only 3, but that's enough for me for a month. And it's actually very cool because I have not spent 1 franc in yarn this year, except for the sweater for my husband, the P1 sweater that I will knit for him. The rest is being frogged and reused, and the yarn for the sweater that I'm designing I had already for years. I think Le Petit Lambswool I bought in the Swiss Yarn Festival 2 years ago, and this Mohair I actually don't remember, but I have not spent anything. One of my projects that I will start soon, that I already know what I will knit with this wool, is the Zipperman sweater by Petit Knit. I will knit it with heavy merino in the color Blue Whale, held together with knitting for olive, Kitsil Mohair in the color Thunder Cloud. I saw the combination on the website and I thought this is going to be very beautiful for my husband. This was going to be his original birthday present. I had knitted already one Zipperman sweater for his birthday last year, so it's here. This is in also heavy merino in the color Brown Bear, held together with knitting for olive silk in the same color, and he loves it. It is a bit too oversized for him. I have to go down a size next time. The only modification that I was going to do for this year, for his birthday sweater, is do a cardigan. He asked me that he wanted a cardigan, something a bit more casual to wear here at home, or when we go up to the town for a beer to see the sunset, which is at 4 o'clock, I think. The sun goes behind the mountain and then you freeze. But when the sun is there, it's really warm and nice. So my idea was to knit the whole thing as the pattern and never close it, just knit it as a cardigan and then improvise something for the zipper here, the closure of the facings. This is a really beautiful pattern. It's fun to knit, it's really easy, and I love the detail of the facing. It makes it really, really fancy, I feel. So this project is going to take me quite a while, so maybe I have it ready. This is not a January project. It's more like for throughout the year when I have time, and maybe it's going to be ready for next winter, because it's with the mohair. I think it's going to be pretty warm. Now I will start with his P1 sweater. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will update you in a few weeks with my works in progress and hopefully some more sewing pieces that I have in mind for my winter wardrobe. I'll see you next time. Bye!